got a place down here. It's got like workshop. Is that it? Yeah. I feel like I need to talk to him to convince him to run.
The 49 melodies fetch again with incessant labor. The water they have lost.
Isn't
Fear
the great
is
temple
proof of a
majestic?
degenerate mind.
This place is not that big. I mean, comparatively. I move a lot quicker than he does. I don't know where he could possibly be. He usually comes in and sees Dooley. Alright, let's get this over with, because who knows? Maybe somebody will do something stupid, break the rule. Probably have to do it a few more times or something, I don't know.
Ave again. It must be completed by dusk. It'll be between sentient. Why do you ask?
We start it now.
As I said, I'm planning to hold...
Holding it early may prevent conflict between the voters.
Yes. I have overheard some rather unpleasant arguments. The last... Very well. Citizens, it is time. Let us meet to elect our magistrate.
Election starting.
Domitius? What's he up to? Trust him any further than I can throw him. Which, frankly, not very far. He's a big dude.
voters gathered here to elect the city's magistrate. The candidates are Sextus Sentius Imperiosus and late nominee Gallus Galerius Helva. Marcus Malleolus Gurges withdrew his candidacy earlier today. As agreed, we shall dispense with ballots and candidates will abstain from voting. Let's make this quick. As I say your name, call your vote. I'll start with you, Horatius.
Sentius, of course.
Georgius.
Galerius. He saved the life of my dear friend Fabia.
Dacius.
Galerius.
Virgil.
The man who put a stop to the threats I've been receiving. Galerius.
Ulpius.
Galerius, the man who saved my life.
Rufius.
The man who treated my rheumatism. Galerius.
Citizens, you have made your decision. Your new magistrate is Gallus Galerius Helva.
What?
It has been decided. Magistrate Galerius, would you like to make a brief address?
I just want to say, this isn't something I ever wanted. Now that you've put your trust in me, I'm going to do everything I can not to let you down. I'll need some time to put together a list of the changes I want to make around here. But I promise you, there will be changes. My first order is that Dooley is to be freed. Horatius, release him from his cell immediately. Please. Wait, do I need to say please? I suppose not. That's it. You can all get on with your day. Nothing else to see here. Move along.
We're finally alone. I assume you all...
Obi-Wan Pez, we've had this conversation before.
Wait, if I understand correctly, I must have entrusted you with figuring out who the culprit... Is that about right?
We've had this conversation
Seems
too.
rather
I'm in a
brash,
hurry.
but... Or
What happens now that you're no longer
nothing
magistrate?
really. It won't be long before the golden rule is broken and everything will be reset. I dare say it won't affect me in the slightest.
No, I
Thank
better
you.
get back to it.
I'll be waiting here for news.
So I'm guessing he's gonna get the crap beat out of him when he goes down that way. So I better grab this real quick.
I'd love to stay and chat, but I've got a lot of work ahead of me. Why don't you go to the baths? Then tell Georgius I said you could have some new clothes. Then I want you to go home and rest. I'll speak with you soon, Dooley.
Yes, that's me.
Oh, thank you.
You're welcome.
You can have my shine, and maybe you can help me. My friend Hannibal used to look up, but before that,
What was it?
he gave me a key to the cisterns. Please help me find it.
Alright, I'll
Oh,
help you.
thank you.
Might have already... Oh, below the Great Temple. Okay.
Hope you find it. Oh, look. Maybe it is treasure.
Fortune smile on you, brother.
Got it. Hades, Lord of Many.
So pretty. And it's just lying out here.
Yeah.
Maybe nobody wants it.
Salve again, friend. How is it possible that you've just...
The many shall suffer for the sins of the one.
Crap. Should have saved. Alright, continue from last save. Probably just after the election. It's also my fault for running through the...
Then I want you to go home and rest. I'll speak with you soon, Dooley.
can have, and maybe my friend, but he gave me stuff. Hope you find.
Maybe it is treasure.
Alright, save it.
Salve again.
We're gonna do the same day over and over again.
You're a bit like Sisyphus. Sisyphus was he was forcing Tantalus. Oh. Anyway.
The many shall suffer for the sins of the one.
Yep.
Salve, friend.
Need you to take care of some stuff urgently. He's
Yulia.
dying. Rufius.
All
Stop
right, let me-
Fabia. Tell Meliodas you know his real name is Quinticus, and thanks to Claudia that Nero sends his regards. Then tell him to withdraw from the election and release his debt bondsman.
What? Are you? You're serious, aren't you?
That's it. Go as fast
I'll
as you
go.
can.
But once I'm done,
Just do everything. Literally everything. Alright, what do I need to do? I need to go find Hades. Didn't have to go that way.
Not a good time, friend. Not a good time.
Look, dude, I know who you are and I know what you're gonna do. Don't do it. Alright, can't go any further. Ah, an entrance. Yeah. Here we go. Upper cisterns. Let's also get out the bow just in case. Yeah, right. Nobody sent me. We've had this conversation before. I'll let you go, everyone's gonna die. Escape is the worst alive. Everyone here. I'm gonna persuade Sentius to let us
It's
go.
no use. You'll never.
Be fairly persuasive. What? No, come on, unlock it. it at least. Insert all 4 plaques. Alright, there goes Galerius. Ulpius is still down there. Cool. Okay, just doors. Hades, Lord of Many, grant me an audience. Nergal, the Fierce One, grant me an audience. Osiris, Lord of Silence, grant me an audience. Pluto, Father of Riches, grant me an audience. I'm wondering if I have to do all 4 or if it's just Pluto. Oh, I see. I see. Hades. Okay. I get it now. This is Osiris. It's based on the architecture. Alright, I believe this is the White Hallway. So, we have been warned. If anyone wants to experience this for themselves, now would be probably the best time to leave. I have no idea what's going to happen. Here we go. This appears to be a spaceship.
And here you are. Allow me to introduce myself. As you have already gathered, I've been known by many names.
Oh, good.
Nergal to the Sumerians, Osiris to the Egyptians, Hades to the Greeks, and Pluto to the Romans. But the one constant through it all has been my title, God of the Underworld. And I've been watching you with curiosity, mortal, ever since your arrival. You're unlike the others, aren't you? And what is more, you carry a weapon that was never intended for mortals to wield.
Yeah.
You do it so brazenly that there will be time for your reckoning later. First, as a reward for undoing the desecration of my obelisk, I will allow you to satisfy your curiosity. Ask what you will.
What's your story?
My story is many thousands of years long. You will need to be more specific. What do you wish to know?
Pretty much. You're a god?
It is a matter of perspective. God is a label I was given by you mortals, not one I gave myself. Your ancestors revered me because to them, my knowledge and technology made me incomprehensibly powerful, just as you might seem so to an insect. But despite all that, there are rules even I must obey.
Why do you look and sound like a man?
My kin and I all adopted this form long ago, so that we might better understand and communicate with your kind. In time, we grew fond of the sensory delights it affords. Desire, joy, ecstasy, even rage and sorrow, while an acquired taste can be addictive.
You don't say. Haha. Where's the woman on your left?
This is my beloved. Like me, she has been known by many names. Ereshkigal to the Sumerians, Isis to the Egyptians, Persephone to the Greeks, and Proserpine to the Romans. Or perhaps you might know her as the goddess of springtime, the cycle of life and renewal. Your gaze lingers too long.
Who's that on your right?
That is my servant. You would have met by the river, though she wears many faces and goes by many names. Kumutubal to the Sumerians, Kirti to the Egyptians, Charon to the Greeks, and Charon to the Romans. Her role is to ferry souls between the mortal world and this one, and to make their transition as seamless as possible. For that, she earned herself the infamous, if erroneous, moniker, the Ferryman. You will talk more later. For now, ask your questions.
May I see your true form?
No. Long ago I swore to Proserpine that I would remain in this form for as long as we remained among your kind. I must honor that.
Well, let's talk about
As
something
you
else.
wish.
What is this
It
place?
has come to be known simply as the Underworld, and it exists because of a wager I made long ago.
What was the wager?
That is a long story, one that began over 3,000 years ago and continues to this day. You see, long ago my kin and I set out from our home on Elysium to search for other forms of life among the stars. We discovered your planet and witnessed your kind evolving from primates into something lawless and barbaric. You all but destroyed yourselves, your 2 short lives being extinguished by violence and ignorance and disease. Yet Proserpine saw raw potential in you, and persuaded the rest of us it would be squandered without our intervention and stewardship. So we revealed ourselves to your people in a place called Sumer. We offered guidance in agriculture, toolcraft, and law, and you called us gods. For a time you flourished, but soon you were too many for us to oversee. And as you spread from that cradle of civilization, we saw something disturbing. We had sown the seeds of dependency and confusion, and soon you returned to your old ways of violence and ignorance, this time in our name. My kin had seen enough, and gave up on your kind, condemning you as barbaric and chaotic, scarcely more than animals. We began preparations to return to Elysium, our home world, a utopia unspoilt by conflict and unimaginable in its beauty. But my Proserpine could not bear to abandon your kind without guidance, and knowing it would force the rest of us to leave her behind, she made an extraordinary sacrifice. She gave up her immortality to descend permanently to the ranks of humankind. And so she began her inescapable trajectory toward death. Horrified, I acted swiftly. I placed her in suspended animation in a deep frozen sleep to prevent age and sickness from claiming her. And then I pleaded with Proserpine's father, who the Romans called Jupiter, to bring her with us to Elysium. It was and is my hope that once there, we might one day learn to undo what she has done to herself. But he refused. I did everything I could to persuade him, but he would not relent. He would rigidly uphold his final pronouncement. Humans were unworthy of ascension to Elysium, and no exceptions would be made. But seeing that I was aggrieved, he proposed a wager, the terms of which were as follows. If even one human city could prove itself capable of living without sin for a single year, then Proserpine and all of humanity would be permitted to join us in Elysium.
How's that working for you?
My part would be to remain behind, the last of my kind, to watch over you without interfering, and to sit in silent judgment. And so my reward has been to languish here, enduring a 3,000-year winter, waiting for the day your kind proves itself worthy of her faith in you, so that I might take her with me to Elysium and unthaw my goddess of springtime. And here I am, after all this time, still waiting.
Who are your kin?
There were also gods who, like me, have been known by many names, but perhaps you knew them by their Roman names. Our leader, Jupiter, as well as Neptune, Saturn, Juno, Minerva, Mars, Venus, Apollo, Diana, Vulcan, Vesta, Ceres, and of course, my beloved Persephone.
Who built the city?
As the first wave of your kind arrived from
On
Sumer,
rock and roll.
I had them build a city in their own fashion, so that they might be comfortable and recreate their lives here. I had them build the entrance as a vertical shaft leading to baths, to cleanse them of the sins of their former lives, and to prevent escape. I watched wave after wave of Sumerians arrive, and as their civilization declined over the centuries, they were replaced by Egyptians. Of course, believing themselves to be the superior civilization, the Egyptians promptly built over what had been built before, and made all the same mistakes. After another 1,000 years, the Greeks began to arrive, and then the Romans, and they all did the same thing. They built upon the underworlds of their predecessors, renamed their gods, and ensured their foundations were forgotten.
Yep. How did you decide who comes here?
To ensure the wager was fair, it was important that my subjects were chosen at random. To this end, I had my servant distribute 1,000 tokens fashioned from silver, a rare element at the time, across all of Sumer. Whoever died while in possession of one of them would be located by my servant and ferried to this place, with no memory of how they arrived. As the tokens were discovered, they were traded, smelted, and fashioned into trinkets, and eventually coins, spreading to Egypt like seeds on the wind. Later, when they spread to Greece, they would come to be known as Charon's obol, or as coins for the ferryman. Some placed coins in the mouths of their dead, hoping they would awaken here, though they had no way of knowing which coins were fashioned from the original tokens. In fact, almost all of the tokens are accounted for, only 2 remain. And so after this wave destroys itself, as it is destined to do, your kind will have squandered the last of its potential to ascend beyond this rock, and Persephone is along with it.
How did humans learn about the underworld?
It is a regrettable story. One of the first men who came to this place was a king of Sumer, and a troublemaker. To be rid of him, I returned him to his people, on the condition that my servant erased his memories of this place. But the erasure did not take completely, and he told stories of this place as if describing memories of a dream. His tales were committed to writing, which came to be known as the Epic of Gilgamesh, and his words were twisted and distorted over generations. Later, the Egyptians would adapt Sumer's stories of the underworld, making them wildly intricate and labyrinthine. Their Book of the Dead and Book of Gates bore less and less resemblance to this place in their priests' pursuit of profit. Then, when the Greeks began to arrive, they proved far more cunning, and in a series of incidents that will not be repeated, 5 of them escaped. A warrior named Heracles, 2 kings named Sisyphus and Theseus, a poet named Orpheus, and a Trojan named Aeneas. They each told embellished tales of this place, how to get here, and how to escape. And so from Sumer to Egypt, Greece to Rome, your kind has always told each other stories about this place, though each story contained only a seed of
Alright, let's talk
Of
about something else.
course.
You're responsible for the golden rule.
That is merely the name your people have given to it, but yes, it is my doing.
Why turn people into gold?
That is a story dating back to the very first wave. After the Sumerians finished building their city, the self-declared ruler threw a banquet to celebrate. Now this man was unmarried, and many women were vying to become his wife. Prestigious position, power, and influence in a new world. Of all the women, two were particularly ambitious. Both were beautiful, and both arrived at the banquet wearing eye-catching dresses and painted faces, their hair woven in elaborate fashion. The first woman, recognizing that she would require an advantage to win the ruler's affection, draped herself in jewelry, ornate